Hey peeps, my name is Lore and welcome to my little corner on the internet. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, and if you're coming back, it's really nice to see you here again. Today I bring you another reading vlog. Very similar to what I did last time with my INFP reading vlog, except this time I'm doing zodiac signs. Well, zodiac sign, only mine. The idea came up kind of at like the same time that I had the INFP idea, but in fact there have been a lot of people that have already done this. Off the top of my head, I can think of Lala from Booksandlala. I don't know a lot about astrology. Honestly, I've never been the astrology type of person. I only knew that I was a Scorpio. I did a little bit of more research and now I know that my sun sign is Scorpio and my moon sign is Pisces. But I still don't know what that means, what's the difference, or like what the sun sign is supposed to represent and what the moon sign is supposed to represent. So I'm just gonna go based off like the most common sign that people associate with, which I guess is the sun sign based on the month you're born. Okay, so like I already mentioned, my process for this video is pretty much the same as it was for the INFP reading vlog. So I researched a ton of videos and articles that I will link down below in case you're interested, that recommended books based on your zodiac sign. Like I said, I'm not an astrology buff, so maybe I'm getting the wrong recommendation, because I do remember, I think I didn't take the recommendations from this video, but I do remember a video that recommended based on moon sign, and at the time I didn't know my moon sign, but I don't know. But anyways, here's the list of the books I was able to gather recommended for Scorpios. So for the sake of saving time, I'm not going to be reading the whole list like I did last time, but in case you're still interested in looking at all of my other finds, I'm leaving it here so you can pause and read it. So I'm gonna go through the rules one more time really fast. I want to read at least 4 books. I prefer to read only standalones, just not to like get committed to a whole series for a blog. I'm gonna take highly into account books that were mentioned multiple times or recommended multiple times by different people. I preferably want to read books that I can get my hands on fast, so either I already have them or I have a friend that has them and can lend it to me. I want to choose at least one book that I know absolutely nothing about. And the last rule is that I can only pick books that I haven't read yet. So the first book that I'm planning on reading is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I already started it last night. I'm on chapter 3. But this book was recommended by 2 separate people, so it had to make it on the list. I was very lucky that my friend Julia, what a surprise there, Julia in lending me books never happens, am I right? But yeah, I was very lucky that my friend Julia has the book. For the next book, I chose Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. There's no particular reason why I chose this book other than I have it. The third book is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is the book I know nothing about. This book was also kindly lent to me by my friend Julia. Even though she already kind of like explained kind of like the plot to me, I don't really know anything about the book. She did say it's kind of like inspired by Fleetwood Mac and what happened to them, but me living under a rock, I have no idea what happened, so I basically don't know anything about the book except that it's about a band. And finally is a book that I do not have yet, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. Another friend that it's not Julia is gonna lend me the book, I just haven't gone to pick it up. If you recall, this book was also recommended to me in my INFP list. So I'm very curious to see, like, it has been recommended to me by my personality type and my zodiac sign. So I'm very curious to see what's the deal with that book, if I'm gonna like it or not. Those are the 4 books that I will read for this experiment, and I'll get on with the updates. Hey peeps, ignore the giant pimple in my chin. Actually, I'm gonna use the book to cover it, cool. Anyways, today hasn't been a good day. After I filmed the intro, I had class. And after class, I had like a presentation for school. Like the whole graphic design career decided to take 2 hours to present their part when each career was supposed to take from 10 to 20 minutes. And they took 2 hours, and honestly, I'm in such a bad mood today. But I'm gonna get some reading done finally. It's the weekend, so hopefully I can get through the book. But anyways, I'm gonna get some reading done. So far, the book is really intense, and I'm only gonna start chapter 3 right now. If you've read the book, you know what happens. Okay, there was a High School Musical reference just now, and this is the best thing that's happened to me today. So thank you, Angie Thomas, for that High School Musical reference. I love you. Okay, they went for some yogurt ice cream, you know, froyo, and this, we take a booth in a corner that's got lime green table and hot pink seats. You know, typical froyo decor. And why is that so true? Every single froyo store establishment I've ever been to only has neon decor. Hey, so I did an update last night, but I got through like about a third of the book, and I woke up pretty late today. I woke up like maybe at 11:30. But right now I'm gonna bake a strawberry roll cake, and then maybe I'll get some reading done. Guys, I think my oven might be tilted. Hey peeps, I have like about 100 pages left. I didn't get much reading done yet. Sorry. I didn't get much reading done yesterday, but I've been reading like a lot today, and I am really enjoying the book, to be honest. Like, it's not very plot driven, like it's not a story that depends on something dramatic happening all the time. So I think that's pretty smart on the author's part, to write the book in a way that the incident and the argument of the book is the focus of the story the whole time. Okay, so I finally finished The Hate U Give. I gave it 4.5 stars on Goodreads. Well, 4 stars, but it's actually a 4.5 stars because Goodreads still won't allow us to give half stars. But anyways, I think this is an amazing book. It talks about a super important issue, racism and police brutality. Like, reading this book that is categorized as a YA fiction and then realizing that this is actually a lot of people's reality is so heartbreaking, and it's important to acknowledge it. Like, that's the only way things are actually gonna change, by acknowledging what's wrong, dissecting the problem, and then changing things to get rid of the problem. I'm gonna go into a little bit of spoilers if you don't want to hear, But by the end, how the officer that killed Star's friend doesn't get charged. The fact that you didn't get the ending you wanted, it's just disappointing, and it's something that a lot of people have to go through every day, and they don't get justice. It's just, I'm sorry, I'm not very good at talking because I'm just like really upset, but this is something that happens every day, and it's just so upsetting, and now I'm getting emotional. Oh my god. Anyways, I'm moving forward with Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, but I'm picking this book because I'm gonna have to do a lot of work this next few weeks, and I'm pretty sure that I can find the audiobook for this on YouTube because the book is on public domain, so I can listen to it while I do homework. Hey peeps, so it's the next day at night and I haven't read anything today because a lot of things have been happening and it's been a stressful day. But thankfully, I finally have some free time. I know I said that I was gonna start listening to the audiobook because I was gonna be busy, and honestly, I could have been listening to the audiobook throughout the day, but because I was just so stressed, I didn't feel like I could have been concentrating on the audiobook. But yeah, after a stressful day, I'm finally sitting down and I finally have some time to read, so I'll read. Hey peeps, so I have one chapter of Frankenstein left for me to finish, and that's gonna be all. I know I haven't like updated or like shared my thoughts on the book at all so far, but I guess like since I only have one chapter left, I'm gonna wait until I end to like share my thoughts as a whole. So I finally finished Frankenstein, and to be honest, I don't think I have a lot to say about the book. I can see why it is a classic, and I definitely think that a lot of points or like things that the book talks about are like really good potential, like have a really good potential for starting conversations. However, when it comes to the book in itself, I thought it was okay. I'm gonna give it a 3 stars, and for me a 3 stars, like, it's okay. It's not that I loved it and it's not that I didn't like it, it's just okay. I'm gonna go into a little bit of spoilers now. I thought that it would have been more interesting if we would have seen like Victor Frankenstein's descent into madness while building the monster a little bit more, instead of like, I had different expectations for the book, but I honestly thought it would have been better if like half of the book would have been Victor building the monster, and then the other half of the book them chasing each other around and stuff. But instead, like, it's just he builds the monster in like the first 4 chapters, and then all of the rest of the book is just them telling stuff that's happening that wasn't that interesting, to be honest. Like, I would have preferred that it went a little bit deeper into what I already said, like Victor Frankenstein's descent into madness with his obsession of like building the monster. And I also thought it would have been more interesting discussing like philosophical theories that are people born a blank slate, and from then do they learn how to act, or are people born good and then are taught evil, or are people just naturally born evil and then taught good? So like I said, I think the book has a lot of potential for starting really good discussions and conversations, but the book in itself, like, it's a 3 stars. I just don't think it's that great. Now that I'm finally done with Frankenstein, I was gonna start reading Daisy Jones and the Six, but today's April 23rd. The Netflix Shadow and Bone series came out today, so I'm gonna binge the series the whole day. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. Like, I'm seriously gonna try to like watch the 8 episodes for the rest of the day, but they're so long. Like, I want to try and finish it so that way tomorrow I can continue with the reading vlog and stuff, but we'll see how it goes.
8 hours later.
Hi, so it's 1 a.m. It's 1 a.m. and my dad and I just finished watching the whole Shadow and Bone series. He came back from work when I was like in chapter 4, like at the beginning of chapter 4, and he sat down beside me, and even though he knew nothing about the series, like, he stayed until we finished, and he actually did like it. And now he's really mad because he doesn't like to be kept in cliffhangers and suspense. So I told him, like, well, the good news is you don't have to wait for season 2. You can just like read the books. It was a really nice time. I'm just really happy that he actually liked it. But yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep now, and tomorrow I'll start reading Daisy Jones and the Six. See you tomorrow. Hey peeps, so I did an update throughout the weekend, but I'm already like halfway through. Whoa. But I'm really liking it so far. I think it's super interesting, and I really like the way it's written in like the interview format. I can really picture in my head how like the documentary would play on TV. I just think it's really a really fun format to read, and I'm liking it a lot so far. So I'm gonna continue reading right now. Hey peeps, so I've been reading like really spaced out throughout the day, so I haven't been filming. But yeah, I have like about 25 pages left. I just read like the twist of the book. I don't know if I should call it a twist, but I guess like if you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. I was genuinely surprised. I was not expecting that, and I think it makes a lot of sense for the book, and I like it. Like, it's a nice little twist. I'm gonna keep on reading the last 25 pages, and then I guess I'll give my final thoughts on the book. So I finally finished Daisy Jones and the Six. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 stars. I really liked it, to be honest. Like I already said, I loved the format the story was written in, and with that like little twist I already mentioned at the end, I think it's really nice, and it's a fun story. It's a really fun format to read. I loved that at the end they put like the lyrics for one of the albums they write on the book. It was a really good story. It's like one of those bittersweet stories that are just like about life, and personally I love those types of stories because it just reminds you how like unfair life can be sometimes. And for me, like, I need this kind of stories in my life, because then like you see all of this other fantasy stories, or like all of these perfect stories with perfect endings and like perfect romance, and it kind of gets you down that your life can't be like that. So I really appreciate stories like these that are just like raw and bittersweet and kind of remind you that that's real life, and sometimes it's never gonna be perfect, but that's okay, because there are so many good things that happen even if your life's not perfect. But yeah, enough about Daisy Jones and the Six. The next book, the last book of this vlog is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. I don't know if I'm gonna start reading it right now or tomorrow. I guess you'll find out from the next clip, but see you then. Hello, so I did do a little bit of reading last night and I don't really have a lot to say right now because like I've only read like about 40 pages. It is a really short book, so I think I would be able to finish it like maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I don't really have much to say right now, so I'm just gonna get to reading. Hello, so I was able to get through a lot yesterday. I only have like about a third or a little bit less than a third left of the book. I haven't read anything today. Usually I read like right away after lunch. I didn't even realize how late it was until like my 6 p.m. alarm rang. I have a 6 p.m. alarm just to like know what time it is and what time I need to like start winding down for the day. So I'll see if I can finish it today. I'm already making some tea in the kitchen just to like drink while I read. And yeah, I guess if I finish, I'll update you guys. If I don't, then I guess I'll see you tomorrow. So I finished the last book. I give it a 3 stars. I thought it was okay. I thought that like it's already a short book. It's only 200 pages long and I still feel like it could have been like what, maybe 100 pages tops. I just felt like the same things were being repeated over and over again. I told my brother this and he said that usually a lot of self-help books do that. This is like the first self-help book I've read in my whole life, and to be honest, like I did learn things. Like he used a lot of like real life stories to get his point across, and those were like very interesting. I didn't know any of them. Well, I knew one of them, but like they were really interesting stories, and I really liked that he used real life examples to get his point across. But every lesson he was like teaching, or like all of his points were things that I kind of already knew or like practiced, whatever you want to call it. So like I learned new things, but I didn't learn the new things I was supposed to learn, you know? Like I don't know. I don't think that the book was bad, although I don't think the writing was the best either. And I don't think the book is useless. I do think that it has some like really good value, and I do think that it has some really good thoughts and lessons on it. I do not agree with everything he says on the book, but that's normal. People have like different opinions all the time. It's just okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. And so that is the end of the reading for now. Similarly to what I did on my INFP reading blog, I wanted to like assess the recommendations and like judge how good of a recommendation for like a Scorpio they are. But at the end of the day, even if there's like certain characteristics for a personality type or a zodiac sign, I think that it varies a lot from person to person. Looking back at my final assessment for the INFP reading blog, I don't think it was the best way to assess the books. So this time around, I just want to look at the reasoning behind why the person recommended the book in the first place for Scorpios, and my final thoughts on the book, and also like how I feel about what they said about their recommendation. So anyways, in true Scorpio fashion, everyone seems to think that purple and red are Scorpio colors. So in honor of that, I'm wearing this burgundy shirt, and without further ado, let's get through a quick rundown of my final rating of the books, the reason why the people recommended them, and what I think about them. All of the references I used will be linked down below. First, we have The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This was recommended by 2 people actually. I think I forgot to mention that in the intro. But the main reason why, it's actually funny, like both people recommended it for the same reason. They recommended it because apparently we Scorpios are very determined and we are passionate about what we believe in, and we fight for what we believe in. And this book is all about fighting injustice and things that the main character Star is passionate about. I gave this book 4.5 stars, and honestly I think it's a book that everyone should read. No matter your age, no matter your zodiac sign. I just think it's a super important book, and I think it's so insightful. I thought it was so beautiful. I thought it was a really good adventure. It's also like a pretty quick read, and overall I enjoyed it a lot. Like I said, I'm not an expert on zodiac signs, so I wouldn't know if Scorpios are actually like passionate and determined or not. But when it comes to me, I do think that I fight for what I believe in a lot, and it's very hard to get me to give up on what I believe in. So yeah, I guess it was a really good recommendation for me at least, and I did end up liking the book a lot. On to the next book I read. I have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. This was recommended mainly because the person said that Scorpios are into like all of those occult and like mystery magical things. For me personally, I am really interested in like horror and like occult stuff and like mysteries. However, I don't think that book has a lot of that. Like I already said, I gave it a 3 stars because I think it has a lot of interesting and important conversation starters. However, like I just kept hoping that the book would dive into more of like the psychological aspects of why Victor Frankenstein built the monster and like his descent into madness as he is becoming obsessed with building the monster. But like I already said, that goes by really quickly at the beginning of the book. I don't personally think that there's a lot of the occult in this book other than like Frankenstein reanimates a dead body and that's it. But it's not like so much as a Lovecraftian horror where like there's definitely like some cultish things going on. The next book I read was Daisy Jones and the Six. The reasoning behind the recommendation was the strong themes of relationships and friendships on the book. I gave this book 4 stars, and even though it has a lower rating than The Hate You Give, I think this was my favorite book out of the 4 that I read for this blog. I just enjoyed it a lot, and I loved how I could like picture the interviews in my head while I was reading, and I just love how human the book feels. The bittersweet like ending it has, and like all of the dark themes it deals with. And I do think that the reasoning of like relationships and friendships goes really strong in this book. Like basically everything that happens, it's built on the relationships the characters have with each other. And again, I don't know if this would be like a particularly Scorpio recommendation. Even so, I really did end up liking the book. I thought it was amazing. It's just such a fun book. I do recognize that it might not be for everyone, but I enjoyed it a lot. And the last book that I read for the vlog was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. The reason why the person recommended it was because they think, again, that Scorpios are very determined and passionate, and she did say like there's nothing wrong with those things. She just said that she thinks that sometimes Scorpios fight for something more than it's actually worth, and that she thinks, at least with her experience with Scorpios in her life, that she wishes that some Scorpios realize that some things are just more trouble than they're worth. As you probably remember, I didn't think that the book was anything groundbreaking, to be honest. Even though I did like it, I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was okay. But as I was like rewatching the recommendation videos, I do like a lot like what, I don't know the girl's name, but the channel is Shut Up and Read. I do like her reasoning behind the recommendation a lot, and I do think that she ties up the book very nicely, and I remember why I was so excited to read the book in the first place. Like, she really gives a good word for the book, and like the book does deliver on what she says. I guess I was just expecting a little bit more from it. I don't think it's anything groundbreaking, but I do think it's a very nice reminder. Some things are just way too much trouble than what they're actually worth, and sometimes like letting go of stuff is just better than like holding grudges and stuff. And like, I know I hold grudges for the longest time. And so that's everything for now, people. I hope you enjoyed the book. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please let me know, either with a comment or a thumbs up. If you would like me to do similar videos to this with like other stuff, I was thinking of doing one with the Enneagram personalities, but I know nothing about the Enneagram. But if you would like to see that, please let me know. And yeah, I have some more videos coming up, so be on the lookout for that. If you like what I'm doing with this channel, please do consider subscribing down below. Thank you so much everyone for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Stay safe and take care. Goodbye.